Whenever we travel to Australia, we used to always get an impression that Michael Clarke, don't approach him, dangerous guy, won't talk to you properly. But we were really, really scared of Shane Warne because Shane Warne had this aura, personality, and you always thought that, can I go and talk to Warne or not? And he was your best friend.
Yeah, look, it's funny. There's a number of perceptions about Shane Warne. To me, I think he's probably the most loyal person I've ever met. So, he's very, very caring. If he likes you, he loves you. I think Warne is very protective, and it takes him time to trust, and for good reason. But if he lets you in, he'll look after you like gold. And I guess I've been fortunate to be very close to him from a young age. I guess when I come into the Australian team, he sort of took me under his wing and tried to help me improve my game as a young player, but also learn from the lessons that he had learnt through his career. And I guess he'd been, somewhat of a mentor, and we've become best mates. So, it wasn't just while I was a young player. When I took over the captaincy, I would speak to Warne. He was always commentating. So after every day's play, I'd be on the phone to him to see if he saw anything or what he thinks. He's got the best cricket brain I've ever met or been introduced to in my life. He reads the game clearer and better than any other player I've ever seen. So I think it was, devastating that he never got to captain Australia for a long period. So I tried to utilise as much of his knowledge as I possibly could on my captaincy.
But he was very unconventional, right? His reactions on the boot camp, John Buchanan's, was so hilarious.
He's very straight shooter, Warne. He and maybe because he was such a good player, he could afford to be like that. But when he was younger, they said he was exactly the same. He played AFL and played for St Kilda, and he was, said how he felt. And from day one when I met Warne, it didn't matter if we were in a team environment, individual environment, or me and him talking as friends, he would always be honest. Whether it was positive information or constructive criticism, he wouldn't lie to you, he'd tell you straight. And I think that's something you can always hold your head high with. I think even in team environments, if the captain or the coach had a plan and Warne disagreed with it, we would know. He would tell you, Yep.
But difficult to deal with for the captain?
I never captained him. I can't imagine having Shane Warne to be difficult. He'd win you every game.
Yeah.
To me, if in doubt, throw in the ball. You got Shane Warne and Glenn McGrath. Pretty simple game, isn't it? If in doubt, go to those two. You're not going to lose too many games. But I think anyone in sport that is the greatest, is the best at their art or what they do, they're going to be confident in their own ability. Shane Warne was extremely confident in his own ability, and for good reason, because he was so good.